Hey guys, we're going to go over practice page number 4, talking about comparing and contrasting. Remember, if you are comparing things, you are telling how they are alike. If you are contrasting things, you are telling how they are different. So your directions say use words and phrases from the chart to compare each set of sentences. So I know that means I'm going to be talking about what these sentences have in common. All right, if I have to use words and phrases from the chart, that means I am choosing from these words right here. So let's look at number 1. It says, the Maya civilization developed in Mesoamerica. Sentence B, the Aztec civilization developed in Mesoamerica. All right, so I know that both of these civilizations developed in the same place. So I'm going to say similar to the Maya civilization, comma, the Aztec civilization developed in Mesoamerica. And put my period at the end. All right, so number 2, my brother plays baseball during the summer. My cousin plays baseball during the summer. So I'm going to say my brother plays baseball during the summer. Just as my cousin does. Make sure you are using words from this chart to make your comparison. All right, so number 3 is doing the same thing. We are still comparing information. So we need to focus on what is the same. My grandmother likes to work in the garden. My dad likes to work in the garden. So I'm going to say my grandmother likes to work in the garden, period. Also, comma, my dad likes to work in the garden, and period at the end. So as you can tell, there are several different ways that you can show comparisons. Just make sure as you are rewriting these sentences, you are paying attention to how and where the phrase needs to be put into the sentence. Sometimes it could be at the beginning, sometimes it could be in the middle, and sometimes you may want to make 2 separate sentences. Just make sure what you are writing makes sense. So let's move on to the next part. These directions say use words from the chart to contrast each set of sentences. So if I am contrasting, I know that I am telling how they are different. So just like before, we do have a set of words or phrases we need to choose from. However, notice that these are different words or phrases. That is because we are no longer talking about how things are alike. We are talking about how they are different. So this one says the Maya civilization developed in Mesoamerica. The next one says the Inca civilization developed in the Andes Mountains. So I'm going to say the Maya civilization developed in Mesoamerica but the Inca civilization developed in the Andes Mountains. And don't forget your punctuation at the end. All right, let's look at number 2. So we are still using that second chart with our contrasting words and phrases. Sentence A, I like to read books about history topics. Sentence B, my sister likes to read books about science topics. So I'm going to say, I like to read books about history topics. And then I'm going to choose, let's see, let's put a period here. I'm going to say on the other hand, comma, my sister likes to read books about science topics, and period at the end. All right, and our last one. Tenochtitlan was an important city in the Aztec Empire. Cusco was an important city in the Inca Empire. So we are still contrasting information here. I'm going to say Tenochtitlan was an important city in the Aztec Empire, period. In contrast, comma, Cusco was an important city in the Inca Empire, and punctuation at the end. So remember, when you are comparing information, you are telling how it is alike. When you are contrasting information, you are telling what is different.